Dave, by the way, I don't know if you've been seeing what has been cooking over at the American Truck Historical Society. Their social media presence is amazing. They do a lot of stuff that, had we remained on the other platform, was something that actually was interesting to me. We've changed directions. They, in fact, do it. I would actually make the argument that our next guest is the inspiration for why that stuff is happening, whether they have involvement in it or not. Miss Flatbed Red is joining us. And if you guys go to missflatbed.red, you will actually find all the information that you need to find out about them. We are pleased to have Red here today. The work, by the way, there's so much really groovy stuff: a gallery, contact, a place to shop, all kinds of groovy stuff, a truck show calendar, your go-to pinup for trucking art. Missflatbed.red joins us this morning. Hey, Red, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Red. This is Dave. And well, I was just thinking of seeing you for the first time. And I don't remember, it was 2 or 3 years ago, I guess, at Matt's up in Louisville, Kentucky. And you had that awesome poodle skirt on. Didn't have a poodle on it, but it was, they called them a poodle skirts when I was a little boy in the 50s. And you were just magnificent. It was a real thrill to meet you, and it's great to know you. And then we saw each other at ATHS. And I'm looking at some art right now on your website, and thought we'd talk a little bit about how you do that, and how did you start drawing and painting, and it's
Yeah.
pretty. And you do it fast too.
Well, it depends on what it is. But yeah, I will say that was better than a poodle skirt because it was covered in trucks.
Yes,
So you
right.
didn't
Yeah,
mention that part.
yeah.
um, but I started drawing trucks because I didn't know what to expect at truck shows. My husband was really bad at making introductions. And so I took a sketchbook, and it's all sort of spiraled out of control since then. And now I make like truck Christmas cards and truck art and all sorts of things that I never would have expected to exist, but you're looking at them now.
But you started as a little girl, though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
okay,
I've
okay.
been drawing my whole life.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
yeah.
mean, yeah, it was just sort of always, I'm an only child, so there would always be coloring utensils or something nearby. And but I've always drawn animals and things. I did pet portraits and people portraits for a while. I think there are some of those on my website too. And I do miss doing that stuff a lot, but I mean, I guess in a way, they're truck portraits too,
Well, if you
what
drew
I'm drawing now.
pictures of mountains and trees and, you know, flowers and stuff,
Hmm.
people would say, that's beautiful. It's perfect. If you draw a picture of a 1973 Peterbilt, if it ain't perfect, that guy's going to know it. So what kind of, I mean, wow, the detail, you have to have the details, and the details have to be right for that make, model, and year. Uh, so you look at that actual truck that you're painting or drawing. Um, is that where the pressure comes from, or is there pressure on that?
Well, I will say, I guess you've hit the nail on the head saying if I get a detail wrong, people are going to notice, just like if it was a portrait of a
Oh
person.
yeah.
Like his eye's crooked, that headlight's not in the right spot. So it's just attention to detail. People ask me for advice on drawing a lot, and really it's just down to drawing what you see, not what you think you see, and making sure that you're really being patient with yourself and your materials because I mean, as I'm sure you guys know, things can go wrong with what you're working with sometimes. It's suddenly suddenly it's not what you're expecting it to be or something. And you've just got to be patient and know how to fix problems along the way. And I think I've only ever had to completely restart once, and that was just straight up my fault. So patience is the key.
Missflatbed.red. Red, the other thing that I wanted to kind of talk to you about is kind of distinguishing between creativity and content. Because we always hear when it comes to social media, when it comes to getting your message out there, that content is king. I think a lot of people, you are not guilty of this because the work on that website actually is a demonstration of how what the difference is. Patience is the key when it comes to creating art. A certain acceleration is the key when it comes to creating content. Can you talk, and if you don't understand the difference of what I'm asking you, I know you understand the difference, but if I'm not making sense, you can ask for a clarification question. How do you balance the kind of necessary patience to make these wonderful drawings and this wonderful art while at the same time maintaining enough of a presence to keep your art out there and make the content in a way that it still grabs attention? Am I making sense?
Yeah, and actually, it's a very interesting question because now I think more people recognize me from my content, like my um, Facebook and YouTube specifically. But all of those platforms started to promote my artwork in the first place. And it was all just spread by word of mouth, and first just friends sharing with friends, and now there are people all over the world following along. But now, I guess the art, it's not, I wouldn't say it's the back seat because I'm still always making art, but because it's all commissioned, it's not always things I can share. So the content has to be ready to go in other formats. Like I can't always be sharing artwork, and unfortunately, people don't always want to see the artwork. So I have a huge folder of videos that I've collected at shows throughout the year that I edit. I try to sit down and edit on Mondays or Tuesdays and get all my videos and posts scheduled at the beginning of the week for the rest of the week, so I don't have to wake up every day and go, oh no, I'm late. So luckily, every platform has a scheduling option, so I don't need to constantly be thinking about what I'm posting and when. It can all be done in advance. And I don't always do that. There's a lot of days where I'm posting at the last minute.
I want
But
to ask.
it's helpful, I'll say that.
I want to ask you a technical question. Well, not so technical, but I would think that if someone said, "Hey, I want you to paint a picture of my truck," you might go out and take a look at that truck and say, "You know, this would be better in pencil, in black and white and grays as opposed to color." Does that ever come up, that sort of thing? In other words, do you see a truck and see how it should be rendered?
Yes, that is also a very good question. I just finished a 3-foot wide acrylic painting. I don't really want to say too much because it's a Christmas gift
Sure,
from one
sure.
man to his brother. But the initial email that I received said that he was thinking of colored pencil or gouache, which is like an opaque watercolor.
Hmm.
And I immediately thought of how time consuming it would be to be doing a gouache painting that large. It's not really a material used for large scale work. And then how many colored pencils it would have taken to go through just like the sky in a drawing that big. So I did an acrylic painting, which is much more friendly for larger pieces, and I'm very happy with how it's turned out. I just finished that yesterday for Christmas, so I'm still not done with Christmas commissions yet.
Miss Flatbed Red, Miss Flatbed.red. I'm going to keep on saying that because I want you guys to head over to the gallery and everything else involved over there. We got about a minute left here. This is the problem with Nemo Nation as we kind of just thunder our way through it. You have teamed up with DCP to make a line called Red's Favorites. Can you tell people a little bit about that before we shuffle you off this radio coil?
Oh, yes. So that is, I'm very excited that DCP had the idea to do this in the first place and grateful for the opportunity. It's a series of trucks that we'll be making, no idea how many, but the first one's coming out in February. It's already been announced and pre-ordered. It's a series of trucks that I've drawn and interviewed for my YouTube channel. So then people can see the whole thing, and rather than just holding the model, you can see inside and learn all about it from the owner.
MissFlatbed.red. I'm going to keep on saying to remind people there's still an opportunity to go over there and purchase something for the trucker in your life, for the people who love trucking, for the people who like all kinds of interesting views of the world. We love POVs, and we love to see how people see the world from where they're standing. We love you, Red. Thank you so much, and thanks for dropping in and joining us.
I love you guys. Thank you, Dave and Jimmy.
Flatbed Red. Always a good time.